Welcome to Tech Tuesday. I'm Steve Leahy. So this is the second half of the live stream setup video. One quick addition to last week's video. Last week I talked about the whole Visionaire setup and how that all works for me. One quick thing, I've been working with the station all week nonstop, which is nice because it really lets me get into it and figure out, what needs to be changed and what I need to add and that kind of thing. One thing I found is, as last week I said, I mounted the workstation flush with the front by introducing that that cutout there in the table. What I find is on my other bench, on my big bench, I put my elbows down in front of the table when I'm working, and I can't do that here. So that's a quick fix. Well, not a quick fix, but it's a straight ahead fix. What I need to do is just take the slot and cut it out deeper. So add about 3 inches to it, and that'll allow me to push that. Push the workstation back a little bit so I can put my elbows on the table. So it's not like eating dinner. You can put your elbows on the table when you're working. But that's not what this video is about. Today is about the cameras and the and all the software and the hardware that I use to run the live feeds now. So before I do that, I just want to do one extra piece of hardware because it ties into the whole camera thing, which it's important. So this guy right here, this Manfrotto, I'll put a link to this. It's a kind of a multi-point camera arm, and this thing is one of the best investments I've made for this whole thing. It was pricey for a camera stand, and relatively pricey. It was I believe it was about $150 altogether. But this thing is amazing, and I don't think I could do this with one hand, but I'll show you kind of how it works. This one big knob right here, if you turn this, the entire thing opens up. It will do, and it's a two-handed job, you can see, because but everything on this now moves. So every joint moves, every ball, can be adjusted all the way to the top. And then once you get it exactly where you want, you simply just tighten this knob again, and it freezes everything exactly where you put it. It is amazing and super sturdy. I have a small, just a small camera on it, but it will hold, it'll hold a lot. So again, it's the Manfrotto. It's a 244, I believe, but I'll put a link to it in the bottom so you can see it. It is just great. So that was the first thing I kind of wanted to talk about. Second is the actual the rundown. So normally with a multi-camera system, what I was looking at when I first started thinking about getting into this, the workflow looked like it was primarily through the computer. So you would take all your cameras, you would plug them into a capture device. All those signals would then go into your computer. Then the software like OBS would take all those signals and sort them out and give you back something that you can, single signal that you can then go live with. What I found was that was going to be pretty taxing on the computer. You rely on the computer's ability to process all that and to sort it out. But then in talking to my buddy Scott McKay from Thin Air Graphics, he has been using this little guy right here. This is the Atem Mini Pro from Blackmagic, and what this does is basically it's a hardware version of what I just said. So you plug all your cameras into this, all your microphones, all your audio sources. It sorts everything out, allows you to switch on the fly. This one here will actually also record all the inputs as well. So it does everything, and it doesn't need to put anything on the computer. You literally take the out from this, go into the computer, and the computer thinks it's a webcam. All this huge signal, all these cameras, all the audio, it just comes through as one clean signal. So it removes all that from the workflow. It's amazing. And it's pretty intuitive. It's easy to use. Now, I'm not going to go into a big how-to on this. There are plenty of those online that will do a much better job than I will. But I will put a link to it so you can actually see it. And I'll show you what it does. So that'll kind of give you a rough idea. So for cameras, I set up. Excuse me. So for cameras, I set up with just some simple. They're non-autofocus. Just basic cameras, HDMI cameras, but they're nice. They're clean. They have a good signal to them. they do a good job. They weren't terribly expensive, so I was able to get all three. There's the other one up there, and there's one behind me over my shoulder as well. I wanted all the same so that they would give the similar view, so I didn't have to have like, you know, a vastly different camera. Quickly, one change I will make is this guy right here. This is my close-up camera. I will change this to a mirrorless camera at some point, an autofocus mirrorless camera, something a little bit nicer, because that's the heavy lifting camera that does a lot of the close-ups and that kind of thing. So I need a little bit nicer camera for that. That's coming. All right. So the Atem, what it does is it takes all those signals and then gives them back to me. There I am in camera number 3 right there. Hello. And then allows me to just switch between cameras. So by just simply pushing the buttons, camera 1, 2, 3, and 4, that will allow me to jump back and forth. So there's camera 1, which is over my shoulder. It's camera 2, the close-up, the one that's on that special arm I showed you. And then camera 3 is me. Hello. That's me right there. And then camera 4 right now is blank. For me, that's going to be a computer. I'm going to hook up the computer so that I'll be able to have whatever's, you know, whatever I need to show graphically on that last. I could plug another camera into that. I could also, you know, just have a media player on that as well. So if I want to show stills, I could do that. And this monitor is just a really inexpensive small monitor that I picked up. It'll run through anything. There's some pretty nice monitors that are built for this, but I didn't need anything too crazy for that. So that's kind of how that goes. And I showed you last week how I kind of mounted that on there. So the Atem has its own software, which is really nice. And what that allows you to do, hang on one second. So what that allows you to do is, let me see if I can get to that. There we go. Great. So what that allows you to do is run the Atem from the computer as well. This is basically the same setup that's next to me, you know, in the device here. So it just allows me to control it from here, or it lets me do different things, like all your editing for all the cameras is done here, as well as, you know, introducing any media. So if I want to, excuse me. If I have like a title screen that I want to have, that's done through this as well. So it's really, really nice. It's really intuitive. It just works very simply. Just really is a great setup. This is really the Mount Everest for me. So I'm standing at the foot of Mount Everest on what this stuff can do. So for me, I was just thrilled to get it to go live and have everything work mechanically or physically. But now that I've got everything kind of rolling, now I'll be able to start to take advantage of what this powerful little, you know, switcher will do, and it will do a lot. So I'm pretty excited about it. So that's kind of it. That's how it's set up right now. Things will kind of, like I said, evolve from here as we go, which will be exciting. And I will definitely keep you in the loop as I come across, you know, new things, the cameras, and if I find other things that are really helping me out, I will definitely share them with you as well. But that is the basic setup so far. So yeah, so here we go. All right, so that's what I got. So if you have any questions, if I glossed over something, please let me know, and I will go into a little bit more depth on it. I will try to clear this frog in my throat at some point today, which will be nice. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking and subscribing and sharing it. That would be fantastic. I would enjoy that. And if you have any ideas for other Tech Tuesdays, please let me know. You guys have been great. I've been getting some great ideas for these, and I will keep doing that. So great. So that's what I got. All right. So for Steve Leahy and Tech Tuesday, I will catch you guys next time.